Let's stop lying to ourselves. You spend hours reading, highlighting, taking endless notes, and 24 hours later, 90% of it is gone. It evaporated. You felt smart while you were reading, but you were just running a marathon on a treadmill. Effortless activity, zero progress. The truth is, your brain is not the problem. Your system is the problem. Think about it. Why do athletes lift heavy weights and then rest? Because the struggle and the recovery are what build muscle. Memory works the same way. We need a system that forces your brain to struggle, recover, and finally, lock the knowledge away forever. Imagine a system so simple, so effective, that you can learn a complex textbook chapter and still recall the core facts 3 months from now, just by looking at a single index card. That's the power of the 4-step permanent memory system I'm about to give you. Most people will bail after step 2 because it requires effort, not comfort. But if you stick with me until the end, you'll walk away with the keys to your mental vault. Step 1 is stop reading like a passenger. You need to become the interrogator. Most people read passively. Their eyes move across the page, but their mind is taking a nap. They are recognizing words, not internalizing concepts. The fix is the interrogation method. Before you even look at the first sentence of a new chapter, I want you to prepare your brain. Look at the chapter title, the subheadings, and any diagrams. Turn every single one of these into a sharp, pointed question. For example, if the heading is the Krebs cycle, and your question becomes, what is the Krebs cycle? What are its main inputs, and why does it matter to me? Write these questions down. Now, your reading becomes an active hunt. You are reading only to find the answers to those specific questions. This primes your brain. It creates a powerful curiosity gap, and your brain loves filling gaps, so it will automatically tag the information you find as highly important. Here is the key application: the Feynman Technique Foundation. After you finish a section or find the answer to one of your questions, immediately look away from the text and explain it out loud in the simplest terms possible, as if you were teaching a 5-year-old. If you cannot explain it simply, you don't know it. Go back. This brief struggle is the critical difference between recognition, which is thinking you know it, and true recall, which is actually knowing it. This active struggle is where the real learning begins. We've planted the seeds in step 1 by forcing active processing. Now we give them roots. Step 2 is to visualize the knowledge matrix. Why? Because your brain is wired to remember pictures thousands of times better than linear words on a page. We're leveraging a cognitive superpower called dual coding, the actionable plan. Forget all linear note-taking. Grab a blank sheet of paper and use mind maps. Start with the main topic in the center of the page. Use a small, memorable drawing or symbol to represent it, not just words. This immediately anchors the concept visually. Next, branch out to the main subtopics. Here is the powerful part. Assign a specific color to each main branch. This creates a spatial and visual anchor that separates and organizes the information in your mind. Crucially, do not write sentences. You must only use 1 to 3 keywords per line. Every single keyword you write must be powerful enough to trigger the full explanation in your mind. If the word doesn't immediately bring the whole concept back, the keyword is too weak. You must replace it with something stronger. The science behind dual coding. When you combine the verbal input of keywords with the nonverbal input of images, color, and spatial organization, you are essentially giving the information to 2 separate areas of your brain simultaneously. You've just built a 2-lane highway for memory retrieval. If one path fails, the other takes over, making the memory almost impossible to lose. This dual coding is a non-negotiable step for achieving permanent memory. Steps 1 and 2 are prep work. Step 3 is the ultimate test, and this is where most students crumble and quit. This is the pressure test, the most critical and painful step for long-term retention. Here's the fundamental rule of memory. If you don't struggle to retrieve it, you don't learn it. The actionable plan. First, perform a brain dump. Close your book and put away your beautifully constructed mind map. Set a timer, perhaps for 5 minutes. On a new, completely blank page, write down absolutely everything you can remember about the topic. Don't worry about order, just get the raw information out onto the paper. Second, perform the red pen review. Now take your mind map from step 2 and a red pen. Compare your messy brain dump to your organized map. Circle every single piece of information you missed, misspelled, or got fundamentally wrong in the brain dump. Those red circles are your weak points. The science of struggle. This process is called retrieval practice. The act of failing and then immediately correcting that failure is one of the strongest ways to forge a memory pathway. When your brain struggles to pull the information out, it sends a powerful signal that says, "Wow, that was hard. I need to make sure I save this properly for next time." The red pen doesn't just mark your mistakes. It flags the specific gaps that you must focus on in your next study session. No struggle, no memory. It's that simple. You must embrace the difficulty. Now for the secret weapon, the final key to months-long recall. Step 4. Create the Atlas of Permanent Knowledge, the final consolidation. Take your organized mind map from step 2 and the identified weak points from step 3 and condense the absolute core essence onto one single 3x5 index card or one sheet of paper. This is your atlas. It must be so condensed that only the most powerful keywords, symbols, and connections are visible. This card is your cheat sheet to permanent knowledge. The spaced review schedule. This atlas card is the only thing you will look at from now on. You will no longer waste time rereading the whole chapter. You will use spaced repetition, reviewing your atlas card just as you are about to forget it. The ideal schedule looks like this. The first review 1 hour after learning, the second review 1 day later, the third review 3 days later, the fourth review 7 days later, and the final sustained review 30 days later. The magic. Each review is a simple 30-second look at the card, forcing your brain to retrieve the whole lesson under zero stress. You are systematically telling your memory, this is vital, keep it in permanent storage. This is exactly how top students hack the natural forgetting curve. You now have the 4-step system: interrogate, visualize, pressure test, and space. You have moved past passive reading and into deliberate practice. You are no longer wasting time. You are building an atlas of knowledge that stays with you forever. But here's the final kicker. Knowing the system is nothing. Doing the system is everything. If you're ready to stop forgetting and start owning your knowledge, if you're ready to join the small percentage of people who actually use their brains to their full potential, if this video hit a soft spot, hit that like and share button. It helps us reach more people who need this message. And if you're committed to building an unbreakable mind and habits that puts all these ideas into practice, make sure you're subscribed to our channel because we bring you practical advice ready to implement in your day-to-day life. Remember these insights and the solutions, implement them today. Just pick 1 or 2 and do it right now. And for more deep dives into strengthening your mind and habits, check the rest of our videos. One more thing before we wrap up. Take good care of your mind and emotion. This is the most important asset you have and your biggest investment. Protect and grow it every day so you reach that next level you are aiming for. Remember, your mind is worth fighting for. See you in the next video.